everyone, my name is Marissa Matheny, and welcome to our opening episode of GameKnight. Tonight we will have live interviews, a pre-recorded interview with Coach Stars, several special segments, our crew picking tonight's local games, and of course headgear by Brant Wilson. We hope you enjoy our first episode of GameKnight, brought to you by the students of Point Pleasant Live.
Hello everybody, and welcome to our first edition of GameKnight. I'm Brant Wilson.
Here with Cooper Craig.
I'm Asher Robinson.
I'm Landon Kiefer.
I'm Zeke Ritchie.
We'd like to thank all our sponsors for tonight's stream, Miss K and the Tarbits for giving us food and drink before our first game day show. Tonight we have a great lineup for you. We have football interviews, as well as the soccer interviews with the girls and boys, their captains, volleyball interviews and band, some video on some rock ensemble, the junior high homecoming, some highlights on the football field, and a video on Jason Hughes. Also going live with an interview with David Darst, and our pick'ems, 9 high school games from around the state and in our conference tonight. So Asher, how you feeling about tonight?
I'm feeling really excited for our team, coming against a Robert C. Berg team that's, just 1-6 right now, and bounce back for them. But really excited to see how we play.
Really, Landon, here, you've been in the student section for all those games. What do you expect?
Well, I think our football team's starting to find their feet right now. I think they're about to start hitting a little hot streak here. So I think that this game came at a perfect time, and I think that we'll be just fine tonight.
Zeke, you've really been enjoying stuff in the classroom here. How do you feel about going live for the first time pregame show? First in program history.
It's really cool because this is kind of what I want to do as a career. Like Stephen A. Smith and Shaq Charles Barkley. This kind of reminds me of it. It's going to be really fun. I'm excited.
I think Cooper, you and him switch off the mic back and forth. You excited for the live stream too?
I am excited for the live stream, yeah.
Before we get going here, we're going to head to a quick video on Point Pride, but also stay tuned. We have a celebrity guest coming into the building soon. You'll figure out who that is. We'll have 6 people on the panel for our pick'ems. But right now we'll head to our Point Pride video with our social media managers.
Hi, I'm Avery Roach, and I'm here today with Point Pleasant Live, and we're here to show you how to show your Point Pride. Point Pride!
What's Point Pride? Is supporting your school in everything they do, including sports, academics, and even extracurriculars.
Why do we need Point Pride?
We need Point Pride so that we can show our fellow classmates that we care about their sports and their extracurriculars.
How do we show Point Pride?
Point Pride by showing up to all the games that you can, dressing up, and following all of our pages.
I don't have any. I need a makeover.
We got a shot.
Hi, I'm Leah Eddie.
I'm Grayson Steen.
And I'm Olivia Grigsby, and we're your Point Pleasant Live social media managers.
For your 2023-2024 school year. This year, as social media managers, we came up with our new slogan for Point Pleasant Live.
Our passion,
Your school.
live.
Our passion is making these videos, taking pictures, and commentating for our community. Point Pleasant Junior Senior High School is your school, and Point Pleasant Live is so grateful to have such a great school to support our program.
And we are always live.
And I'm here with the football captains, Dylan Kiefer and Cole Miller, here to talk about tonight's game. How you guys really feeling tonight?
It's been a rainy, slow day. Hopefully, let's get just get hyped for the game, get motivation.
I'm feeling pretty good going into the game. We had a good defensive plan set up for everything, and I think the coaches put a good game plan on offense, and I think it's pretty hyped for it.
All right, coming after that win against Marietta, 47-41, incredible win by the way, guys. How does it feel to take, this is your first year to conference, about 7 years, 8 years, give or take, to go in there and win it first year?
That game was definitely a hard game. We all played our hearts out, played to the last second of the ball game. It was a good win. felt good. We made practice better this week. Just felt like we grew as a team just off one game. Felt good.
Yeah, I feel those games are the best because you're in a close game the whole game, and you play to the very last second. And for us to win it like that, it just made it that much better.
Here, you guys are senior captains, as we did mention earlier. Do you have any advice for the people behind you, the team next year, to try and keep up with momentum, not lose that conference title?
Really just stick together, bond on the off season, really hit the weight room, hang out, go eat together, make memories. It's high school, have fun.
Yeah, like Dylan said, bond. It's team connection is a big part of it. Listen to your coaches. They usually every week they put a lot of time in to make the game plan good.
Speaking of coaches here, what have you done, and what have the coaches done for you really to get better over these last 4 years, really elevate to that level?
Definitely the drive and motivation they gave us. Just hit the weight room, all the little tips that just change your whole ball game around, make you a better player, and it came from being strangers with them. Now you're close. I mean, problems in school, you can go to them, talk to them. Just, I don't know, we became close. They've helped throughout everything.
Yeah, they really helped me. They gave me motivation to get in the gym, and they gave me a lot of tips on how to be a better football player all around and a better person. And it's just became really close with them.
Not to mention here, you were saying earlier, practice is a lot easier, especially after big wins like that. What have you really been going through this last week to get ready for tonight's game?
Our scout team's been helping. That's a big key that everyone overlooks. But those JV players jump in the scout team, give us a good look all week. They go hard with us. Shows what the opponent's going to be like that Friday. And just drive those varsity players to play even harder and get good looks. Makes it all come together.
We've been going hard all week. We've been going so in practice we have like black shirts and red shirts, and our JV are usually scout team. But this week we've been going against like the best on best. So it's been hard, but it's been a good week of practice, and I think we're ready for it.
Right, Dylan, I had a word with Coach Darst earlier this week. Said you were going to move over to Monster.
Yes, sir.
Could you explain how you're feeling about it, and really explain what your new role is on that defense?
I'm excited for it, honestly. It's kind of like linebacker, defensive end, corner, all mixed together. We'll be switching sides, different sides of the field. I'll be covering passes, be covering jet sweeps outside, looking for the ball more feet work involved with it. And I don't know, I think it's going to contribute to the defense. I think it's going to be good. It's a good move. We got Trent Harmon there at defensive end and Ethan Jordan. They hold the ends down good. They stay contained good. So hopefully that jet sweep will take control of it, take care of it. So I don't know, I'm looking forward to it. It's something new.
Now, Calder, you've really been in the trenches all year. Could you really explain your mindset down there with them big men?
Well, this week when we were watching film, they look big, like huge, and I'm just if I get double teamed, I just cut, and I'm pretty much cutting all game tonight. I'm just going to be going out their knees, trying to take their legs out beneath them.
Big team, also a big game around the conference. Well, Marietta and Warren take on each other. We'll get to the pick'ems in a minute, but what are your guys' thoughts on that game? You know, the big conference game. Warren could spoil and make it a three-way tie between the conference, so the title isn't fully guaranteed yet.
Well, Marietta and Warren, they're both good teams. They played good against us. It's going to be a tight one, the game. I think they'll both compete good. They're pretty even. Are you asking like scores or what?
I mean, if you want to give a score, you're more than welcome to.
Are you asking like who wins or?
Who do you think wins it? Yeah. Who do you think brings it home?
I want to have to go with Marietta. I'm going to go with Marietta just because they got the number 13. He catches good, runs good routes, they pass good. I'm going to go with Marietta.
Just any prediction for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Warren Local.
Alright.
Different take on it. I think Warren Local has just an all-around good team. They can pass the ball, they can run the ball. Their defense is pretty solid.
And that's been your football captains here, Cole Miller and Dylan Kiefer, as we'll be heading over to a segment on number 7, Jason Hughes. Senior Jason Hughes, 4-year member of the Big Blacks football team, was on track to a breakout season. The year started off at home against Greenbrier East.
We may have lost both, but I was pretty happy while doing it. Quickly run over the chance. Hughes all alone. Goodbye. Sayonara. Jason Hughes.
And Jason was the head of an amazing game, with the Big Blacks leading 19-7 with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. then tragedy struck.
Guerrero in motion. Play action keeper for Hughes. Hughes going to try and take it again. Hughes running through, first down and a lot more.
Josh Hughes, the quarterback option. He has first down yardage.
Josh Hughes.
Jason suffered a severe injury.
Well, I was running the ball and some kid landed on my leg and went to the hospital after the injury and then figured out it was a tibial break. So it's like, a big bone in your leg. And, that's what happened.
It's unfortunate that it happened to him, because I know the young man waited for 3 years to be our starting quarterback, and then for him to go out in the first game, it was kind of a kick in the gut for everybody.
His fellow classmates frozen, the crowd silent, and his senior teammates waiting for it all to unfold.
I was just shocked, everything that we trained for all summer, me and Jay, we'd be out on the field throwing the ball, going over plays. We was shot down within one game, so it took a pretty big toll on the team.
Really, it was just shock. I didn't really see the play. I don't like how it happened, but just seeing him there on the ground really hurt, and knowing that what the team was going to go through if it was an actual bad injury.
But Jason was that type of kid that the kids knew that he was going to play hard all the time.
Even though Jason can't be on the field, his heart will remain in the game.
Well, I've been going to practices, going to the games, everything like that, and trying to help out the quarterback that stepped up and played that position as a sophomore, which that's a hard position to play as a sophomore.
Looks like Caden Hill's going to take the helm.
And so I've just been going and trying to help the team the best that I can and getting them ready for the games or just getting their mentality straight.
He was a leader. He kept everybody in check. He was always there for a teammate when they messed up or anything like that. So leadership was definitely his best quality.
I've been blessed, during my 17 years as the head football coach here to have really good quarterbacks. And for me to have to kind of go through this, it was a process that, I'm sitting here thinking, next man up, how are we going to do this?
Because we have a great team, no matter what. And I know that our team can be an amazing team, facing all adversities. So I just go in with the mentality that we can win. We can win any game. We can win any position that we get put into.
I think he's a tough kid,
I just want them to play at 100% and, win or lose. Yeah, you always want to win. But if you go out there and you know that you give 110% effort on that field, then you won in your mind already. You won. So just always go out there and just play the best game that you can possibly play.
Hey, I'm Landon Kiefer here with girls soccer senior captain Madeline Call. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And today I'm going to be asking her some questions on her senior soccer season. So Madeline, just give me a little overview on how your season's went so far.
We have had a very tough schedule this year. Our record might not reflect how good we've played this year because we've played such harder teams. Like last year, our record might be a little bit better, but our strength of schedule has increased so much to prepare us for this upcoming state tournament and our regional game this week.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of the teams, who has been the toughest team you guys have?
Probably the top two would be Winfield and Charleston Catholic. Winfield's got some very good strikers, and their offense is very fast. Their defense is very solid, so the offense has some problems breaking down their defense. But Catholic's probably the top one because there's not a weak link on that team. All of them play club. All of them know what they're doing. When we watch film, we usually watch and we're like, okay, this player has this tendency. With Catholic, there's not that. There is every single player knows what they're doing.
And against Catholic, if I'm not mistaken, you guys were up 1-0 the entire game, and then they made a last-second goal, didn't
Yeah, last 9 seconds they scored off a free kick. That was very painful.
Yeah. So, what does being a captain mean to you?
It meant a lot to me. Ever since I was little, I looked up to the captains on the team when I was like 5 or 6. I was like, that's what I want to be. And I'm so happy that Chris and the other captains decided to add me as the 4th one this year, and I get to wear it for my last couple high school games. But it means a lot because I get to lead the younger girls and hopefully inspire some of the little girls that ball kid the games and come to watch our games.
Okay. And what do you think, if you guys had a weak point at the beginning of the season, what do you think it was that has improved throughout the season that you guys are better with now?
I don't think we had like a specific one. I think as a team we had problems at the beginning of the year because we had an exchange student coming in, we had some new players that decided to join late, and we were trying to figure out where everyone fit. So we had the right puzzle pieces at the beginning of the year, but they weren't in the right places, if that makes sense. So as the seasons went on, we have found that some people work better in different positions, and we've kind of moved them out. And we're probably playing our best soccer this season, which is great since we're getting ready to play the regional game on Tuesday. And I think, like I said, we're probably playing the best soccer we have all season.
Speaking of the regional game, so what's your all's mindset going into that game? Like, what's practice like, and like, what are you guys doing to prepare?
There's no jokes anymore. We just know that every practice that we have, it could be our last, and for the seniors, it will be our last high school practices and games, and we know that if we lose, we're done. So our mindset has to be win or nothing. Yeah. There can be no other option.
And I know it's a hard topic, but do you think that loss last year in the state tournament helped you guys for this year?
Oh, absolutely. Because it was such a close game, and we knew we could have won it, and it was just kind of a fluke thing. The goal was, it was a great goal. It was one of the Sparks sisters. She was a great player. But that kind of pushed us to know that we are good enough to make it there, and we held our own until the last 30 seconds of overtime, so we know we can make it. And so it's just fueled us in preseason with all the running and all the practices when you don't want to go and you don't want to put forth effort. We just think about that game, and we know we want to get back there and get our revenge.
Okay, there's always a challenge. What are some challenges you expect from here on out?
There's not going to be an easy game at this point. The first couple games that we've had, we've performed well, and we've scored a lot of goals, and that's not going to be the case from here on out. They're going to be tough games. They're going to be close games. It's going to be 1-2-0 or vice versa. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be no room for error. We have to come out there and play our game. Everyone has to play to the best of their ability.
So what are your expectations for the end of the season?
Win state championship. There's no other. Our mindset is to win states. There's no accepting second, third, or like we did last year. We have to win.
Okay, we're going to bounce off topic here real quick. So you've probably made some really good memories in the last 4 years. What is your favorite soccer memory in your last 4 years?
Probably going into PKs against Winfield last year and making it to states, because that's the first time in school history the women's soccer program has ever went to states, and that was such a big deal to us as a team, and we put so much effort. We played 2 overtimes with Winfield, went into 2 rounds of PKs, and it just really showed the passion that our team had for it.
What was that feeling like whenever you saw that PK go in?
I wanted to hug Cammie so bad when she scored that. I was so happy for her, and it was just surreal.
And last question here. As a senior, well, 2 more questions. What, if you had to leave a message or advice to an underclassman, what would that be?
To stay kind to the younger girls coming in. I had a senior, kind of shout out to Emma Sayer here and Sydney Cook. They were my people when I played when I was younger, and I was still trying to figure out high school soccer, and they were there for me, and they're the reason I am the player I am today. And so I'm hoping that I try to be that player for some of the girls, and I hope that left an impact for them to be that way for the younger girls and remember what it felt like coming in and be kind to them and be a role model and be there for them.
Okay, and to sum it all up, so as a senior, what message would you like to leave to your coaches, parents, and or teammates?
For my coaches, I would like to thank all of them that believed in me to get to me where I am today, and I also would like to thank the ones that doubted me, because that helped push myself and realize that I could accomplish anything I put my mind to. And I would like to thank my parents especially, because they have sacrificed so much in their lives for letting me to be able to chase my dream and to play on in college at Marietta. And for my teammates, thank you for making the last 4 years a dream and making it a dream come true.
That was Landon Kiefer here with senior captain Madeline Call. Next, we're going to head to some highlights from last week's game against Marietta, and then we will head to the boys soccer interview.
Jason, how do you think this game is going to go?
Oh, I think we're going to win for sure. It ain't no doesn't matter. We're playing hard. We're ready to come out here and win. Number 14. Keeper for the quarterback off the bootleg. And a good wrap-up tackle by Jordan Elliott there.
And offense.
Oh, Jackie Connie! back to the end zone. This could be a safety. High steps one, looking for the corner. Gets around long and brought down by the legs by number 52. Bent still a quarterback, held in the slot. Bent will have a keeper. Gonna run through one. Stays on his feet. Run through another. Nate Bent. Touchdown, Big Blacks. Yeah. And that's number 3. Walking will hopefully see him return to this game. It's gonna be Jordan here. Fighting through a tackle. One more to beat. And he had a chance for grass ahead of him. But it's Lyris Kelly on the tackle.
Jordan the ball carrier.
Inside the red zone today as that big run just opens up their offense for later. Here goes Marrero. Breaks the tackle. Had to return to the 40 last time. Going to fight forward and get to the 35. Just 5 yards short of his play action. All day to throw. What a throw! He's skewed down the left sideline. Rush 3. High throw. Looks short. It's all alone. Intercepted by Andrew Scoot. And that is your ball game. He's still running. Cuts it back inside. Keeps going down the left sideline. Andrew Scoot. He's got one to beat. He's knocked out of bounds.
Hi, I'm Cooper Craig here with your senior boys soccer captain, Cooper Tatterson. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How are you?
That's good. Oh, I'm good. Sorry. So what are some challenges you expect to face during the tournament this year?
We are 2 games into this tournament so far, and we have mercy ruled the first team, and last night's game ended with 7-1. And so we're going into Nitro tomorrow. So Nitro's a different team. They're much better, and I expect a couple different challenges that we haven't seen so far with the first 2 teams. They've got some better players. They have some different tactics, a new formation that we haven't seen. So I expect those to be a couple challenges that we're going to have to overcome because it's different than what we've seen for the last week or so worth of games.
Is there anything like specific you guys have been doing in practice to prepare for them?
We haven't set forth any hard tactics against them. They do have they have 3 or 4 good players that we're going to have to watch out for, but we haven't thought about man marking or anything yet. We're just going to play them straight up and see where it goes from there.
All right, so who do you think has showed the most improvement throughout the season? Is there anybody specific that comes to mind?
Yeah, this year we weren't sure how many people we were going to have on the team, but we lucked into getting 3 transfers and 2 foreign exchange students. So we were looking to start 3 or 4 freshmen coming up from middle school soccer. And 2 or 3 freshmen have really stepped up, and they have become our super subs. They're ready to go in, they're on the bench, they're ready to come and play a game. But specifically, I think Malachi Hart, he has really stepped up from middle school. He's a midfielder, so when anybody in our midfield needs a break, Malachi's there to step in.
Was there anything specific that he struggled on that he really improved on, do you think of?
From middle school to high school soccer, speed of play is probably the biggest issue and the biggest jump, I would say. So it took him a little while to get the speed of play of high school and the physicality. Physicality is a big thing. But it took him a little while. He definitely has improved a ton. He knows the pace of play now. It's gotten much better.
What's your guys' mentality heading into the postseason, or what was your guys' mentality heading into the postseason?
Going in, we knew we had a pretty good chance to win states, and we're here now. We're 3rd game in. Nitro is probably going to be our biggest opponent from now until the end of states if we beat them. They're ranked number 3 or number 4 in AA. So if we can get past them, we'll be set for states.
Is there any advice you'd like to give to your underclassmen?
I remember a speech given by our assistant coach just saying, this was in my freshman year, do not take for granted the time you have in high school soccer. That's why our coaches are back. They're young, 28 and 30. They're back trying to win a state championship. So their main point was do not waste your time in high school. Make the most of it.
You say make the most of your time in high school soccer. Do you have any plans for after high school?
I would like to play in college, but realistically, I'm looking to go into med school and I wouldn't have the time. And I honestly do not have that next level of play to play in West Virginia.
It's understandable. So over the last 4 years, you've been able to create a lot of memories while playing soccer for Point. Is there a certain memory that stands out most to you?
Yeah, my freshman year was the first time our team had been to states in 20-some years. So I remember seeing the looks on our coaches' faces when we finally won our Region 4 championship. That would progress us to states. That's probably the best memory. And then going to states the last 3 years, staying in Beckley and having hotel rooms and messing around with the team, hanging out and having fun at states, and that's probably my best memory.
What's a message you'd like to send to your coaches or parents as you look back on your journey at Point Pleasant?
Soccer's a very demanding sport, and you really do have to thank your coaches and your parents for sticking with you the whole way through, because that's a lot of time and commitment. Our coaches spend hours each day, like planning practices, looking at other teams and watching film on other teams, just try to get a better idea of what we're going to be going up against. And parents, they have to like sit there and watch slow games, because we've had a pretty good team. They'll sit there and watch slow games where we're crushing a team and driving hours away to go watch their kids and just driving everybody to practice. It's definitely a full-time job being a parent of a high school student playing soccer.
All right, thank you. So we'll head to our next segment now.
What was the key part, like those key parts in last week's big win?
Well, I think offensively, it had to be Nate Bentz's performance. And he had an outstanding night, at the wing, and then we brought him in a wildcat quarterback spot, and I thought he did a really good job. And then our offensive line, they kind of took control of the ball game in the second half, and I thought those guys played their best game as a unit.
What are some things that you guys are planning to carry over from last week's game to this week?
Just consistency, with all the different injuries we had early in the season, it was hard for us to just be a consistent offense. I wanted to come out last week and throw the ball a little bit more with Caden. Caden's still learning a lot of things at that quarterback spot, but for us to just be able to move the ball consistently and kind of control the flow of the game and try to get some stops on defense and give our offense a few more chances.
You guys talking about that offensively, but defensively, you guys started in cover 2 and switched to a cover 3. How does it help you all this season?
How do we what now?
How has it helped you guys this season, go from that cover 2 to a cover 3?
Well, we do both. We'll start out in a cover 2 shell a lot of times and have to go to cover 3 based on formations. We need to be, we got to be able to do both. And, once in a while we'll even slip in a little bit of man coverage, but cover 3 allows us to be able to bring a monster like an outside linebacker in. This week you're going to see us probably play Dylan Kiefer. We're going to move him out to the monster, which is the outside linebacker spot from his defensive end spot. Try to give us a little bit bigger body out there, be able to cover the flat, do some things. And then if we want to jump in our cover 2 or in what we call our cover 4, if we want to be 4 deep, then we'll probably replace that with a defensive back type kid. But we like to be in cover 2 when we have the perfect world here in our coverage. Cover 2 is what we want to be in, but we've been in a lot more cover 3 this year.
Going back to Caden Hill there, he's that underclassmen quarterback. How do you think his confidence and his skill set really has improved after coming to week 2 starting?
Well, he's never been a quarterback. People didn't understand what we were dealing with, I think, in weeks 2 and 3, trying to develop quarterbacks, and Asher getting hurt real quickly didn't help us in that situation. But as a sophomore that's never been a quarterback in his life, he's progressed pretty quickly. You can just see a big change in him, I think, just in the last 2 weeks. And the more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And he does have a nice arm on him. Down the road, if he continues to keep doing what he's doing, he could be an outstanding quarterback in the next couple of years. But right now it's about running this offense for me. Try not to go out there and make a big mistake in the game, and just be efficient in what he's doing. And you see an improvement in his ball handling compared to where he was the first couple of weeks. I think we went to Scott and he had 3 or 4 interceptions, and I don't know how many fumbles he had just from the snap. And that's just repetition. So big improvement.
Also here, I know the last 3 games of the season always big win, especially where we had that 3-4 record trying to fight for that playoff spot. How important is this game to the team?
Well, it's just tremendously important for us to keep the momentum. Winning the conference last week and beating a good Marietta football team. Now we got to turn around this week and just pick it up another level and really get after these guys. You know, we lost a game up there last year to them that we should never have lost. And, you know, we're here at home. You know, we know, you know, we're in playoff mode right now. If these guys want to make the playoffs, we got to win every game. So, you know, hopefully we'll see these kids come out here fired up, and we'll see a team that's even getting better this week.
Yeah. I would like to welcome you back to our show. From Malia Bechtel could not be here right now from being stuck in traffic, so I'm here with Olivia Grigsby, freshman on the volleyball team, and I'll be interviewing her for about this season. So, volleyball, what are your thoughts on the upcoming game against Wahama and Hannon?
Considering we beat both of them before, I feel like it'll be a pretty easy win. And it's senior night, so hopefully all the seniors get to play. And
I really like the confidence there with the easy win. So, what do you want this rest of the season to look like since it's closing out?
honestly, I think most importantly, we just want to have fun because, especially, had a lot of curveballs thrown at us the past few weeks with injuries and all those things. So I think right now we're just trying to make the best of what we have left.
Well, we'd like to thank Olivia Grigsby for being here, and now we have Malia Bechtel. Just shut up. Well, welcome to the show. So, first off, this is your senior season, so as it's coming to a close, what do you expect as a senior and the rest of the season look like?
I expect us to try and have a lot of fun through the rest of our season. It's been rough with injuries and different people coming up, so I expect us to just have a good time and play our best and try and be a hard player.
Yeah. So speaking about those injuries, who has been an underclassman that has kind of stepped up into a role that they weren't really seeing themselves in at the start of the year? How has that been because of that?
So I know we had a bunch of JV players, underclassmen come up, freshmen, Chloe Wamanon, Olivia Grigsby, and several would be able to come up. Lily, they played really hard and they came up and stepped into the positions even though they knew they weren't prepared for it really, and they just kind of pushed into it, and I think they did really good.
Yep. So, you're a senior, this is your last year, so through these 4 years, who has been your biggest supporter throughout? It could be a coach, a parent, just anyone. Who has been there for you and who has pushed you the hardest?
Definitely teammates, older teammates. They've always just been there to encourage either on the court, off the court, in school. I've always had a lot of encouragement from them just to help out and keep my spirits up and help the team.
Yes, so volleyball, it's a lot of physicality, but it's also a mental sport. So before a game, what do you do to prepare yourself for the game?
We get together and we hype each other up and make sure that we're all okay throughout the game, make sure nobody feels bad or anything, and just try and be there and play hard and always know what's going on.
Thank you, Brett. Thank you. So, volleyball, how has it shaped your view on hard work and motivation?
It takes up a lot of time, so we have to be prepared how to motivate ourselves to make sure we still get our schoolwork done and motivate each other on the court to help out and make sure that we are trying our hardest.
So, do you feel as if the underclassmen would be prepared once you do leave? They'll be prepared to keep building on the program after you're gone?
Yeah, I think they'll be very prepared. Throughout our hard work and our coaches that help us, they will be good to come up and learn their new skills on the new team. I think they will do a great job.
So, as a student athlete, what does a normal day look for you?
I go to work in the morning, go to school, go to practice, go home and go to bed.
Yeah, pretty busy.
So,
no time. So, how is the balance between your social life and your school and your sports? How does that affect on you, and how do you handle it?
It can have an effect. I know, just like just not being able to hang out with people and like really be able to talk that much, and you have to focus on your schoolwork and playing. So it can be kind of hard, but just always keeping up in touch, like trying to get homework done as soon as possible to have free time to hang out with people is good to help lift your spirits throughout the season.
Yeah. So I'd like to thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you all for having me.
So here's a recap from our junior high's homecoming produced by our younger Point Pleasant Live members.
Point Pleasant Junior High held its homecoming week from Saturday, September 30th to Friday, October the 6th. It was a fun week with a lot of different activities going on throughout the week.
The dance happened on Saturday, the day before homecoming week started. The theme of the dance was school spirit. 6th, 7th, and 8th graders were allowed to attend, and it was a blast.
This homecoming week, we had a competition to see which hallway could look the best, ranging from Pac-Man to a haunted house. Everyone really went out this year. It's really nice to see everyone group up and work together for this. For this encourages teamwork and bondings. At the end of this fierce competition, the juniors came out on top, and the junior high top hallway was 7th grade.
Dress-up days are one of the more fun things about homecoming week. The dress-up days on Monday was get up and go. Tuesday was dress up like a senior citizen. Wednesday was Barbie and Ken. Thursday was wear your favorite jersey. And Friday was school spirit week. Really show their creativity side with their outfits and come up with a lot of great ones.
The Powder Puff game happened on Tuesday, October 3rd. The Powder Puff game was played for the first time with junior high students. The score was 0-0 with neither team being able to score, but a fun time was had by all the players involved.
The pep rally was a very fun way to show off all of our teams and to get everyone hyped for a homecoming game. They announced the football team, soccer ball team, and volleyball team. The pep rally was a very great way to show off all of our school spirit by playing games, cheering on our classmates, and loving our school.
On October 5th, Thursday of the homecoming week, the Big Black Knights faced off against Polka. It really felt like a one-sided match for the Big Blacks were winning 12-0 in the first few minutes of the game. Isaiah Wamanon managed to get 3 interceptions and 3 touchdowns on the night. There really is a bright future for him in the world of football when you can throw and run like he can. Ian Wasonga had his first touchdown of the year, and Kyle Bryant also had 2 touchdowns. The final score was 42-12, with Point coming out on top.
The parade was held on Friday, the end of homecoming week. Students were able to participate by getting on their class floats or with their team. It was the perfect end to a great week at Point Pleasant Senior High School.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Zeke here with
Ashley Legg,
Emily Vale.
I'm here to ask them about band. All right, so first question, I'm gonna start up right off the bat. What are competitions like?
Okay, competitions are this one long 12-hour day, sometimes even longer, that are hectic and there's like no time to breathe. But but then like when you're in the moment on the field, it's just like everything stops.
Right, like it's all this prep time, all this, and then when
It's
you
like
get out
go,
there,
go, and then
boom. Anything to add?
Normally our day starts a lot, on the guard. It starts a lot longer than the band starts because we always try to have a practice before, and we have at least 2 hours to get ready. So that puts us at least 3 hours getting here before the band even gets here. So it's definitely a really long day.
Especially on our doubleheader days.
Yes.
That seems long, but is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Yes.
It's worth it. All right. So, what is one of your favorite band memories and why? Why is that?
You can go first.
One of my favorite band memories is probably gonna be this. A few weeks ago, we went to Portsmouth West. And we really didn't expect to get an overall win, but we came out with a first in our class, and then it shocked everyone when we went to overall awards and we pulled out that overall best auxiliary, and it felt really good.
Oh gosh, a favorite memory.
Welcome.
I think one of my favorite band memories has to be just
I don't know, band camp. All years of band camp. We have Benjamin Loudon as our band director, so you know that anytime he has a megaphone or like a loudspeaker, a microphone, you're gonna have some entertainment. So I think my favorite band memory is band camp.
What is your favorite band memory and why, Pacey?
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of favorite memories. To give a general statement, my freshman and sophomore year seniors really made a lot of memories with them, but to put one specific, this past band camp, during the senior prank, we were running from the cops, and our center snare Macker jumped into a ditch to hide from the cops, and the cop found him and asked him what he was doing, and he said that he was going for a midnight run. Well, if you've seen him, I don't think he was going for a midnight run. God loves Macker. But that's my favorite memory.
So, what is band camp like? Can you all go a little bit into depth about that?
It's a lot of hard work and determination that every kid puts in, and we're there for a whole week, and it seems like it's too hot and you want to quit, but in the end we pull out this really good show, so it's always worth it.
Band camp is long, sweaty days with stinky kids and half-decent food, no sleep, squeezing in a shower whenever you can, and crying. But it's a lot of fun. We make a lot of memories. Every night we have a different activity, like snacks and a movie, or a talent show, or movie night, and we just make it a good time.
I'm gonna say it's really fun. I always enjoy it with all the boys. It's always good. We prank each other the entire week. But it's really frustrating on the field because every time we talk about drill, we argue with each other nonstop, and it's loud and annoying and very frustrating.
Seems like a whole lot of fun. You know, great experiences, great memories.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, I do have a question for you. What is it like being undefeated in color guard?
It is a really amazing feeling. We put a lot of hard work into it, and it's also a lot of pressure because now that we're so far into the competition season and we've won some kind of award at everyone, either it just being class or being an overall win, which we've gotten 3 of, which is great. It's a lot of pressure not to let everyone down. You still have to try, you still have to practice your hardest. And it's just packing a whole bunch of work into each week that you can to make it perfect.
And that does seem like a lot of hard work, but it sure is worth it, isn't it?
Yes, it sure is worth it.
Well, thank you all so much for coming on here. Zeke Ritchie here with
Ashley Legg,
Emily Bale,
Pacey Frog.
Thank you. Tune in next time.
Point Pleasant Junior Senior High School Rock Ensemble started in the 2022 to 2023 school year. It was started by Mr. Polson, accompanied by Mr. Green. We talked to the lead guitarist, Tyler Burt, and Mr. Polson.
Hi, I'm Tyler Burt. I play electric guitar in the Rock Ensemble.
Cool. So why did you join Rock Ensemble?
I saw it as an opportunity to play in front of people and with a full band instead of just by myself. And it's nice to be able to play songs that I know and like with people that I know and like my friends. And it's just overall to have a group of friends that you can rely on and do fun things with.
Okay. So how did you know that the electric guitar was right for you?
I had a friend about 2 years back. He played guitar and I'd skip lunch and go into the band room with him, which was allowed because there was a teacher in there. And he showed me a lot of my favorite songs and how to play them. And from then I kind of picked it up because I wanted to be more like him and play the songs that he played for me.
That's very sweet. How would you describe your time in Rock Ensemble?
It has stressful moments, but it's overall pretty good. Like if someone forgets a part, we'll just restart, and from there we can play it out again. After a few weeks of learning the songs, we get to just jam. Like, say it takes 2 weeks to learn a song, after that we have 4 months to play any song we really want, and just have fun with it, experiment with new song ideas.
Hi, I'm Mr. Polson, and I started the Rock Ensemble last year, and
Why did you start the Rock Ensemble?
Well, I started the rock ensemble because I love rock music and I play a lot of music myself, and I saw that there was a need at the school for some rock music.
Cool. Where do you see rock ensemble going in the future and why?
I see rock growing each year. It's got a lot bigger this year already, and I think as more students are exposed to it, they will also want to join and be a part of something. And I see that we may be able to get some bigger shows next year, and one show possibility is we may play at the Mothman Festival next year.
That sounds awesome. Do you think that the diversity of different groups and clubs in Point Pleasant would help the school evolve?
I do, and that's another reason why I think the rock is so important here. There are a lot of kids involved in the rock ensemble that aren't involved in any other clubs or sports, so I think it's good to get more students involved in things at the school.
The rock ensemble practices every Friday during Shield in the auditorium storage room balcony. They currently have 40 members signed up. Their first performance will be around Christmas break. We hope you can come support and watch our rock ensemble.
And we're back here after all those interviews. We hope you enjoyed. As we'll be getting to our pickings in just a second, but we just have a bit of chats here. Great interviews, by the way, by everybody here. You guys really rounded it out well. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I was pretty nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
I was pretty nervous, but then once I got in, it just felt natural.
Now we got a big week in soccer coming up. We got regionals weeks, and on Tuesday the boys, right? On they'll take on. There's the girls on take home Winfield.
Yeah, boys is tomorrow.
I think is it tomorrow?
They play
Sectional,
tomorrow.
We do go live tomorrow for the sectional
right.
championship, so stay tuned for that. But Tuesday the girls take on Winfield for the regional championship. What's everyone's expectations? I'll start with you, Asher.
I'm expecting us to win. I think we are that good. I think our girls and our boys team are both that good.
Gerber?
I'm expecting a pretty big win. I think it'll be a 2-0 game, us.
Well, girls-wise, their opponent hasn't been officially named yet, I don't believe. But we're assuming it's going to be Winfield, of course. But I think our girls always compete. So I have our girls going all the way. Just my personal opinion.
Zeke, you've broadcasted a few games. What do you think?
2 W's, 2 dubs. Points taken on 2 W's.
Oh yeah, boys are taking it up.
Both games.
Boys taking it up too. They got. I mean, boys trying to make what? This is their fourth time in a row back to the state title.
My 8th grade year and your freshman year?
They did because we got semifinals that year against Catholic, and we've been runner-up the last 2 years. Do you think the boys get over that hump, really?
Oh yeah. Yes. I think this is our year. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You sure? Okay. I mean, with our transfers coming in and our foreigners, we have a really solid lineup, and then our freshmen off the bench with from actually starts now, but Kirkpatrick and just the rest of the freshmen. That's a pretty good squad.
Have you got any insight on that? The boys this year, if they make that state championship?
I'm really excited. I think they're gonna get over the hump this year. He talked about their underclassmen coming up, making an impact. So I'm excited.
And talk about big games. We have a big special guest coming soon, so we'll get to the pick'ems right after that. If this signifies anything, you can probably guess who it is. But volleyball does have their senior night on the 25th against Wahama and Hannon. I don't know how much volleyball you guys watch. I've watched a fair few. I think they got a real good shot to go there. Maybe sneak a sectional game in there too after. What do you guys think is going to happen against those Hannon and Wahama games?
I think we can go 2-0. I mean, it'll be maybe a little bit difficult just because it's a county matchup and all that, but I mean, you can't ever count anyone out. Anyone can beat anyone at any time. It doesn't matter. The record doesn't matter. Nothing like that matters. Anyone can beat anyone at any time. So, I mean, I'm expecting a few good matchups, and I think Point should take 2 dubs.
I'm pretty confident. The girls we interviewed, they seem pretty confident. So
Olivia Grigsby. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's
confident.
Very confident.
I like that.
Like, here's confident.
There's
Olivia up here. Like, all caps.
It's going to be a dub, though. It's going to be a dub. I think it's going to be, Mason County, that's going to be us for volleyball.
Yeah.
So.
A little insight here. We do have a lot of athletes at the table. The 3 basketball players, 4 basketball players, and Cooper who does wrestling. Yeah. But we'll start out with Cooper. Really, what do you expect? It's early in the off-season training for wrestling, as we're just about to get to the start of the season. Where do you expect this team to be? You think they're going to be on par with these state championship teams we've had the last 4 years?
I think we're gonna win one this year. We put in a lot of work this year. We've been practicing almost every day, a lot of conditioning. Some days we have 2 practices a day. We've had some really early morning lifts. I'm excited. I think we're gonna take home a state championship this year.
We do have one of our captains here for basketball as well.
Flatter me. Flatter me.
Really excited. What jumps do you think our team can make this year? We're 12-10 last year, first winning record in over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we get a higher record, really? What expectations do you have set for these other players since you're going to be one of those leading roles?
You know, I'm just really excited for this year. I think that our team has grown mentally and physically. You know, our guys been busting in the weight room, you know, with Coach Will, getting those big gains. So, I don't know, I'm really excited. I feel like our schedule a little bit tougher. You know, we have Winfield now for this year, and then we have to play a really tough conference schedule. So, I mean, it's going to be tough, but I think that I think we go over 500 and hopefully host a sectional, maybe a regional game, and be able to make it to Charleston and play in the Civic Center.
Now, speaking of basketball here, he was that captain. You guys are the people that you're going to have to look up to him all season. What has Asher really done? What has Grayson done to motivate you to get to that point?
I'll start off with Asher. So he got the captaincy like about halfway through the season last year. Kind of a little bit kind of surprised us. Like we were all just. Coach Will said everyone go to the locker room. We kind of thought we were in trouble because practice ended a little bit early, and we were all just sitting there. And he started talking, and then he was like, "And now I'd like to announce that we have a new captain," and no one knew who it was. And then they said Asher, but everyone agreed with it. Everyone bought in, thought it was a good decision. And ever since then, well, even before then, Asher's just in the locker room. He always has a good positive attitude. Like he's always pushing you in practice. If you're slacking off, he's going to tell you to play to your potential and just that's the only way you're getting better. And so I think Asher's a good captain with that. And Grayson, he's just a good upperclassman to always have. You can go and talk to any of the captains about anything, and they're there to listen. And he's just a good role model.
Honestly, I can say this about both of them. 2 of my best friends, love those guys. My man, you've had my back since day one, so has Gray, and you all have just pushed me to get better, and I respect you all for that heavily. You all are main motivation why I want to get better, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, love y'all boys down there. Love y'all boys down there.
Let's really get to the task at hand here. We'd like to welcome in our celebrity guest, co-owner of Mat Time, #1 has-been in the state of West Virginia, Gallia Academy something now, Big Daniel Tinch.
Yeah!
My hand goes sweaty. So.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me.
As signified by the 2-liter you are.
What is it?
Signified by the 2-liter you
Yeah.
are. Man here.
Bigger than the average fella. How's everybody been?
Good.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Love the new setup. Love the show. You guys been doing a great job today.
Thank you.
So what's up?
So much about getting into these games. I'll ask you a few questions here. How's Mat Time been going? You see, repping it on the brand here.
Yeah, going
one of the
well.
best media things for wrestling.
Yeah, entering our 4th year, 4th season, 3rd year. Things are going well. Still growing. Still out there, spreading the word of wrestling, and still enjoying it. That's all that matters, man. Having fun. Kind of like what you guys do here. Have fun. Try to spread the good news. Should have wore a bow tie or something.
Yeah, you're a bit casual here.
Yeah, a little too casual.
Well, we're gonna work our way to the picks with our first game, as we all have our picks in already. Meggs versus Alexander, a local matchup, as this one is at Meggs. So we'll start down at the end of the table here with Cooper.
I think it'll be 14-0 Alexander. Their one win has been at away, and then their Meggs has not had a win at home yet. So I feel like Alexander's gonna pull away with it.
So Alexander coming off a disappointing loss to Warren last week, but they throw the ball around, 125 attempts from the quarterback. So see how Meggs matches up with that. But Meggs also likes to throw the ball around with 14 passing touchdowns this year, and their record doesn't really depict what they have on the outside of the skill position. So I'm gonna take Meggs with the win, 22-16.
That's a good pick. Megs is a good pick. Tough game to call. Both these teams give up points in bunches. I think it's fairly even, but wet, soppy field tonight gonna make it tough to throw football, make it tough to use that speed. But I do think Megs gets it done. 1 point win. 1 point win.
Me personally, seeing it's in the nicest way possible. It's been a bit of a struggle for both teams this year. Rough records. Both do have their wins against River Valley. Alexander had 21-0 win over them. Meg got 46, but more points, but still letting up 6 to that River Valley defense. Doesn't give you the best. You said the rain is going to be a big factor.
Big factor.
Alexander, though, 101 carries with -7 rushing yards on the year. So.
It's tough.
It's been a rough rushing year for them. But Scholl's having more of a down season, but I feel like he can really pick it up and get it together here. I have Alexander winning 17-9.
I had to go with Megs here because I went and watched the Megs versus Galplis game, and Megs' record really doesn't. I feel like it doesn't define. Like Megs I feel like they have a strong core team. Like they know how to use their run game when they need to. So I think that with it being wet and rainy, I think that Megs will get it done with the score of 26-13.
I chose Alexander. I think they're one of those teams, like, when they start, it's really hard to stop them. Like, again, scoring in bunches, but I think both teams are really just going to go at each other, defensively and offensively. It's going to be a good game, but I have Alexander winning 21-0.
All right.
So,
Shutout.
21 zip?
Nothing.
21 zip.
On the road shutout. All right. Get going here to the second game, the Daniel Titch game of the week, Gallia versus South Point.
I'm at Washington Elementary, everybody, just so you know. Washington Elementary.
Sounds like
Gallia County over there.
What is it?
Gallia City Schools.
Can you say what it feeds into? What high school?
Gallia Gap.
There you go. So
Academy.
we're gonna roll in here with the picks down on the right side of the table.
I have Gallia winning 21-0. I think they're just gonna dominate the game defensively and offensively. So I'm excited.
South Point, not very much of a passing team. They have a running back with Wilburn with 12 rushing touchdowns on the year, and they're coming off a tough loss to Portsmouth. But Gallia lost to a great Ironton team. Rathburn's been on a tear with 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. But that X factor for Gallia, I feel like, is Franklin. So I think they're just going to be ready to go after that tough loss, and Gallia wins 63-14 pretty convincingly.
It is going to be convincing because of speed. Speed everywhere for Gallia Academy. Every skill player they got is fast. The defense plays fast. They play hungry. Too much for the Pointers. 49-22, big win for Gallia.
South Point does have that running back in Wilbur. They also have Freeman. They have combined over 800 yards in the season, 20 touchdowns. Haney having a rough season, 45% completion and 3 to 5 touchdown reception ratio. And Gallia's they've been lights out. You saw in that live stream a 42-12 win over Point. Against Portsmouth, their common opponent, South Point lost by 14. Gallia won by about 32. So I think it's night and day. Rathburn keeps up with his 20 touchdown, 6 interception season, and Kenyon's always going to be that factor. You said with the speed. I got Gallia winning 40-6 away at South Point.
This kind of hurts a little bit with Gallia being a big rival, but Gallia just has all athletes. I mean, they're just athletes, and any position, line, defensive line, everywhere, just athletes. And I don't think, as of right now, no, I don't think anyone's touching Galplis. 42-0, Galplis with the win.
Me, I chose Gallia. Ironically enough, I went to Washington for elementary school, so that was interesting. I didn't know you worked there. But I choose Gallia winning 14-7. Not the highest scoring game, but I also feel like they're going to play a lot of explosive defense, but they're going to get their scores as soon as possible, as fast as possible, and as explosive as possible.
I like it.
Score
14-7.
Thank you.
I thought
big under. Big under guy, huh?
I'm taking the over.
I'm gonna go with
taking the over.
I don't know what the line is, but whatever it is,
it's not enough. It's not enough.
At least half a point more than that.
As we're here to game 3, it's one of our conference opponents, Fort Fry, taking on one of their big rivals, Waterford. This kicks off, Cooper.
I have Waterford winning 21-14. Fort Fry had a really good season this year, but I feel like they're kind of slowing down this year. So I think it'll be a good game, but Waterford will pull away with the win.
don't know. Waterford's since September 22nd, they have only allowed 43 points and have scored 108, and they're 3-1 in home games. And they're coming off a 6-point win versus Trimble. They're trying to get that season going. They're 6-3, but Fort Fry's coming in with a win over Logan, Ohio, and they love to counter. They try smash mouth football. Clayton Miller, he is a player. So I'm going to take Fort Fry in a close one here by 4, 21-17.
It's another great pick, Asher.
Thank you.
Another good pick. If you don't know where these two schools are, they can hear each other's band across the bridge every year. They're right beside each other. We're talking less than a mile that separates them. Fort Fry, not as good as last year. Everybody's seen that. They're finding ways to win. They're kind of getting back on track to the old ways. Convincingly, 2-score win. 35-20, Fort Fry.
Right. I like that.
You were talking about how there's that mile across.
Right
and
there.
that plays to Fort Fry, but it plays even bigger to Waterford here. I feel like they have the common opponent Caldwell. Fort Fry dominated, Waterford struggled. And I feel like that's what Fort Fry's going to hold over them. Well, they couldn't hang with them, so they can't hang with us. And that's going to give Waterford that mentality to come in, pop them in the mouth. They have that 100 plus minus on points on the season. Fort Fry up there with about 74. But it's the rivalry atmosphere. I didn't even know that they could hear each other's bands, but I bet that plays into it even more.
They're right beside each other, too.
They
Right
split.
beside each
They go right in between. That kind of separates Fort Fry and
You pass Waterford, you cross the bridge, you're in Fort Fry's parking lot.
So we got
that close.
The second battle of the bridge of the year, basically here.
It's a small bridge. Small bridge.
And those small wins last week, and you were talking about the last 4 weeks for Waterford being dominant. I got them winning 16-13 over the Cadets.
Bold choice.
Yeah, good game, though.
I have a lot bigger of a gap than everyone else, just because I think Fort Fry can do a little bit of everything. Like, if they have to go to the pass game, it's there. So I have Fort Fry 42, Waterford 16.
I choose Waterford. Reason is they seem like they're gonna take this game to heart. All right, big rivalry game, like you said, extremely close. They're just gonna go out there and punch them in the mouth. 21-14, Waterford.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's speed these things up here. Number 4 on the night, Marietta and Warren Local. Big conference matchup here in the Twin State. Warren Local, I believe, they have the chance to spoil the conference title for points. So, Cooper, let's kick them off.
We watched Marietta and Point play last week. It was a pretty good game, but they ended up coming out with a loss. I feel like they're going to come back and win a game this week, 23-14 Marietta.
Warren, they have really mobile quarterback in Sealy who has 11 touchdowns this year. And they also have Fairbanks, which him and Sealy both have 60-plus yards per game rushing. Looking to keep it going after a commanding win over Alexander. But Marietta is also coming off of a disappointing loss to us last week where they fell apart in the fourth quarter. They're up by 10. And, they're looking for a bounce back against a conference opponent to hopefully, just get a win here. They scored 89 points in the last 2 games. And they have athletes on the outside. Great route runners with number 1 and 13. So I'm going to take Marietta here 24-14.
They're looking to bounce back. They don't recover. They don't recover from blowing a 10-point lead in the fourth. Warren Local spoils the party for Point Pleasant. 3-way tie for the conference. 14-13 Warren.
I say not so fast there to you. Talk about 2 4 and 5 teams here. As Warren has handled the pressure well against those smaller opponents, higher point differential. And Warren does have that win over Point that just hangs above them. Both struggled against Fort Fry, but you forgot to mention with Sealy, there's 8 interceptions. Still a solid completion percentage, but there's an X factor on Marietta. His name is Junior Smith. All over the field against Point Pleasant. We're talking about a man who can make every tackle, jump up and get every ball. He had an incredible snag in the first quarter, and I think he's just going to be that one guy that pushes him over the edge. It's going to be a 29-12 win for the Marietta Tigers. Point keeps their title.
I don't think Marietta's record really shows how good they are. Just basing both of the teams playing against Point, I don't think that Warren's defense will be able to keep up with Marietta's pass game. So with that being said, I have Marietta over Warren, 35-24.
So, I chose Warren in this one. I watched the Marietta versus Point game. Honestly, Marietta will try to come out strong if Warren can just take away their passing game. I think they have a good chance of winning this. Reason being is they let up when it mattered. They had a huge lead and they just let up in that game. You cannot let up on Warren because they will explode right at you and they'll win the game. 7-6, low scoring game, high defense.
Taking the under.
I took under on that one too. Here we go.
All right, 5 more games remaining here. We're going to go to our next week opponent. Ripley takes on Shady Spring.
So I know Ripley isn't having a very good season this year. I'm kind of basing my score off that. I think Shady's going to beat them 28-7.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like that pick. I think Shady lost to a great Roan team by 10 in the first week, and they've lost 2 out of the last 3, but they're coming off a big Wyoming East win. So Ripley's also they're in a struggling year this year with arguably their best player is Casto. So if Shady somehow stop Casto, then they'll be just fine. And I think Shady wins this one big, 35-6.
I think we're going to all agree here. Shady, 27-7, convincing dub over the Vikings.
Basing it really off that game against Roan, they kept it within 15. Ripley, they lost by 36, and that's a big factor. Pritt, their quarterback, 7 interceptions and 2 touchdowns, under the 50% mark on completions. I just don't see Ripley being high-powered enough to hang with them. It's going to be a 40-20 win for Shady Spring.
Ripley just they don't really seem to be clicking with their key player from last year, Virgil Myers, transferring. I have Shady Springs 26-21.
Just, based off of Ripley losing that one and Shady Springs just having a bunch of momentum, I'm saying 20-0 Shady Springs. I just think they outclassed Ripley.
Good picks, guys. Good picks.
Move on here to our the Birds up north. Wahama takes on Webster County for their senior night.
Wahama's a really good team.
Homecoming, sorry.
I think they'll pull away with this one easy. 42-7 Wahama.
Webster struggling year this year, but they do have some players. What they need to do is just minimize mistakes, but it's hard. Wahama doesn't make a lot of them. So Sawyer Van Meter, their quarterback, has 16 touchdowns this year to only 2 interceptions. They have Lambert with 16 rushing. This is Wahama's homecoming. They're 7-0, and I'm thinking they're going to become 8-0 with a huge 70-14 win.
Homecoming can be a tricky game. It can be a little bit of a distraction for everybody. But good friend of mine, Joe Johnson, back up at Wahama, was kind of the mastermind behind that wing tee back in the day, winning the title. Got that offense rolling. 50-14 Dirty Birds roll tonight.
Webster does have McCourt, who in their first game had, as a running back, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns. But there's nothing you can really do against such a dominant Wahama team. If they break out the wing tee, I might celebrate with them. It's going to be a 76-12 win for Sawyer and the White Falcons.
Well, I have to change things up a little bit.
This is a bad pick.
You can't really count Wahama out. But with this one, I have to. It's Webster County.
You don't have to.
I'm going 28-3 Webster County.
Shocker.
Biggest shot.
Beat them by 25 points.
Typically on something like this, you'd say there's no wrong answers, but that is the wrong answer.
All right.
That's bad.
I'm going with the rest of the table. Wahama's winning this one. Not a whole lot to say about it. They're just going to win this one. 7-0, low-scoring game. Low-scoring game. Hey, they're winning, though.
7.
Multiples of 7.
Got Wahama with 2 safeties and a field goal.
Nobody's scoring tonight. Nobody is scoring tonight.
Is Zeke's lucky number.
Nobody's scoring tonight.
Nobody is scoring. That rain is going to get everybody. That's what we're going to go here. Really high-class games for the last 2 before we get to the coveted Point Pleasant game. We got Winfield versus Nitro. This is a high-value matchup here.
They're both really good teams. I think it's gonna be a battle, but Winfield is gonna come away with the win, 56-35.
Winfield here, they're playing at home this week with Nitro. They won 62-0 over a not very good Logan team, but they got a ball player, a quarterback with Josh Moody. He's thrown 39 touchdown passes. 16 of them have been to Malachi Thompson, and he's 26th in the nation in passing yards right now with 2,632 to only 3 interceptions. Winfield just needs to make Nitro run the ball because Hoover seemed to stop the passing game. So and Winfield beat that same Hoover team by let me see how much it was. I actually can't remember. Nitro lost them by 35.
Winfield beat Hoover 35-42.
35-42?
22.
Or 22?
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be hard for me to choose Nitro. I think Winfield takes the win here, makes it 42-21.
On paper, should be a good matchup, but you don't play on paper. You play on the field. Winfield rolls 42-7. Rolls.
No, I don't think you guys forgot. We're talking about Nitro. He's only had 131 points all year to the 340 they got. Josh Moody, a 70% completion. I know we're not playing on paper, but the paper looks pretty good. 39 touchdowns, 3 picks. Malachi Thompson, 1,033 receiving yards, 16 touchdowns, a 6'4" frame. Now, with all that being said, I got Winfield winning 35-31 at home. Taking advantage of it. Number 17 comes out on top against the number 15 team in the state.
It's really hard to count the Nitro team out, but with the way that the weather is affecting this night, I have Winfield 28-14.
I just think Winfield, dominates the game, but they're just, I don't know. They're just a solid team. It's going to be a good game. I say 14-7. That's just been my thing. Just
That's domination.
It has been your thing. Low.
Domination.
I think he's allergic to 3 touchdowns. It's impossible.
Just three combined only.
That's all you get. As game 8 here, this is the game of the week for most people. We got Midland taking on Huntington, number 3 in the state versus number 1 in AAA. Start us off, Cooper.
They're both great teams. They both have some really good players. I just think Huntington has a little bit of an edge on Cabell Midland. I'm going Huntington 35, Cabell Midland 14.
Cabell Midland going up on the hill tonight, which is a big factor for me. They lost a tough one to a very good Hurricane squad. They lost to a last-second field goal last week. They need to make plays. Shockey needs to make plays. Their quarterback, which he can. He had 2 60-yard rushes for a touchdown last week, and they seem to weather this storm. But Huntington, 7-0, and they have not lost since August 26th, coming off a big 28-3 win over Parkersburg. And I think Huntington wins here 31-28.
That's a great pick this time. It's a great pick. You can't talk MSAC football without talking Huntington and Midland. Big rivalry right beside each other. Shockey transfer from
Parkersburg South.
Park South. Came down to Midland. Not enough. 31-28 for the champs.
Beautiful pick. So there. We're talking about, for Huntington, Avante Crawford, 79% completion percentage. As this defense for Huntington, no sleeper either. Only allowing 41 points on the year, 21 of those last week in their 49-21 win against Parkersburg. You said you were bringing up Shockey there. It's just not going to be enough. I got Huntington winning it out in a dogfight, 45-24 with that game on the hill.
I just think Huntington has too many dogs on their team, and I think overall, I just think I have to give them a little bit better coached. I got Huntington 35, Cabell Midland 24.
Billy Ball.
Got a dog over there.
Billy Ball.
He had a punt return last week.
And then Robbie Martin.
Robbie Martin,
best football player in the state.
I got Huntington winning it 20-7. Dominant team, but it's gonna be a great game, but 20-7.
Look at you, got the 20.
That's a blowout. That's a blowout right there.
7 for Midland.
Richie blowout here. And we're at the final one here. The Point Pleasant Big Blacks take on the Robert C. Byrd Eagles. And it's a big game for Point. Playoff contention's really on the line here if they don't win out. That's all, Cooper.
I think it's going to be a really close game. Robert C. Byrd hasn't had a great season this year, but I think they're gonna play pretty hard this game. But Point will pull away 28-21.
Something that people forget with Robert C. Byrd is they had a very tough schedule to open up this year. They opened up with Kaiser, Fairmont, and Bridgeport, but they're just trying to find their footing now. Very young team, mobile quarterback with another Junior Smith. And they beat us last year, but we're coming off a big win. Vince is our X factor. Caden Hill seems to be settling into the offense. Last game was arguably his best game. And, our secondary seems to also be getting our footing. I feel like, we're going to get a turnover or 2 here. We had 2 last week, so I think Point wins 27-13.
You said it right there. Like, the Point's starting to come together. The strength of this team is the run. It's that offensive line. Old, veteran, big offensive line. Last year, you said it, lost at Robert C. Byrd. The only thing Byrd was better at was fireworks last year, and yet found a way to win. We remember that. Big Blacks win tonight pretty convincingly, 35-14, and you're right. Going to roll into Winfield with the playoffs on the line.
Okay, so with Robert C. Byrd losing a key player in their quarterback last year, I have Point winning 35-13 with them changes that they've made with their defense.
I gotta agree with all of you. Point 20-0. Gonna be a blowout game. We're gonna win.
That's a blowout.
That's a big one.
All right.
All right.
I see you, Zeke Rich.
We're Point Pleasant 3-4 versus 1-6. You know, we can't say they're the prettiest records to look at.
No.
That win against Marietta, though, gives them that conference champ potential for Point Pleasant, winning 2 out of their last 3, 10-point quarterback comeback, a 5-touchdown performance by Nate Vince last week. You just can't deny it. 96 yards from Jordan and a 4 forced turnover thing. That was the key point of the game on those kickoffs for Point Pleasant. And now that they got that fight for playoff contention, they're coming together. But Bird's playing them competition. They have competition. And they've been playing up to it. A rough 63-19 loss against Philip Barber. But Junior Smith has been run heavy. He's been run heavy, and mobile quarterbacks find a way to get by Point Pleasant. It's the win last year that's going to motivate him to it. The dual threat QB, the run heavy offense is going to be there. And I'm going to take Point Pleasant 26-13. Give me the helmet.
There you go. Yeah. We'd like to thank you for staying with us for the show. I hope you stay for the broadcast for Point versus Robert C. Burton. So thank you. We'll.